So, what if I told you that the key to unlocking one of modern literature's greatest puzzles, Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, isn't buried in some dense Western philosophy textbook, but in an ancient text from India? Well, that's exactly the idea we're going to dig into today. I mean, you know that feeling, right? When you're just waiting. Waiting for a text, waiting for a job offer, waiting for something to happen. It's like your whole life is just put on pause, stuck in this weird limbo. Well, for Vladimir and Estragon, the two main characters in this play, that feeling isn't just a mood, it's everything. Waiting is their entire reality. They're stuck day in and day out, waiting for this guy named Godot, who, spoiler alert, never actually shows up. And let's be clear, this isn't just about being bored. Their wait is this agonizing, active thing. It's a total state of paralysis, a deep existential crisis. I mean, think about it. They're trapped. They have no idea what their purpose is or why they're even waiting. Is Godot real? Will he ever come? All they have are these circular conversations and this sliver of hope that just seems to deepen their despair. So, how do we even begin to unpack this kind of modern despair? Well, here's where things get interesting. We're going to look for answers in a really unexpected place, an ancient text that's going to act like a diagnostic tool for their condition. And that tool is the Bhagavad Gita. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, it's a super important spiritual text from India. The whole story revolves around the god Krishna giving advice to a warrior, Arjuna, who's basically frozen with doubt and despair on a battlefield. Sound familiar? So we're going to take some key ideas from the Gita and use them as a lens to see if we can understand Vladimir and Estragon's situation a little better. All right, so let's jump in. We're going to look at 3 big ideas from the Gita and see how they can, shed some light on the deep suffering at the core of Waiting for Godot. First up, karma. Now, when you hear karma, you might think of cosmic payback or something. But in the Gita, it's a little different. It's really about purposeful action. Krishna basically tells Arjuna, look, you have a duty to act, to do something meaningful, even if you don't know how it's all going to turn out. And right away, you see this huge clash, right? On one side, the Gita is all about disciplined, meaningful action. And on the other side, in Godot's world, you get the exact opposite, suspended action. They talk a big game, let's go, but they never move. They're completely frozen. And that's really the heart of their problem. None of their actions mean anything or change anything. It's just a pointless loop. You could say that in their world, the whole concept of karma, of purposeful action, has just completely broken down. Okay, our second concept from the Gita is Maya. Think of Maya as a kind of illusion. It's this cosmic fog that clouds our vision of reality, trapping us in deceptive hopes and making it impossible to see things as they really are. So, what's the big illusion? The big Maya in Waiting for Godot? It's Godot himself. See, Godot isn't really a person. He's an idea. He's an expectation. He's basically the ultimate form of Maya, this incredibly powerful illusion that they're clinging to. And here's the crazy part. This hope is the only thing that keeps them going, but it's also the very thing that keeps them stuck. It's a perfect example of how Maya works. It's this imagined solution that stops them from dealing with their actual situation, and in the end, it just makes their suffering go on and on. All right, last concept, kala. This is the Gita's idea of time, and it's not the straight line we usually think of. It's a massive cosmic cycle. It's eternal, it's repeating, and it's way bigger than any one person. So you've got the Gita's vision of time as this huge epic cycle. But in Godot, the experience of time is the total opposite. It's a claustrophobic trap. The second act is practically a carbon copy of the first. It's not some grand cycle of rebirth. It's a stagnant, depressing loop where nothing ever changes. Okay, so now that we have these 3 tools, karma, Maya, and kala, what if we could get Krishna himself to explain Beckett's play to Arjuna? Let's just imagine that conversation for a second. So Arjuna might ask, but Krishna, they believe Godot is coming. Don't people need hope to live? I mean, what else do they have? It's a fair question, right? And Krishna's answer would probably cut right to the core of it all. He'd say, hope can sustain life, yes, but blind hope only binds it. In other words, for Vladimir and Estragon, hope isn't a compass guiding them somewhere new, it's a chain locking them in place. And then he'd connect it all together. He'd say that when you fail to act with purpose, when your karma collapses, time itself changes. It stops being a flowing river and becomes a prison. So, What do we do with all this? After this whole deep dive, does this ancient framework actually solve the puzzle of a play like Waiting for Godot? Well, it turns out to be kind of a double-edged sword. On one side, the Gita gives us this amazing language, karma, maya, kala, to actually diagnose their suffering and make sense of it. But, and this is a big but, on the other side, using this framework actually makes the play feel even more tragic. See, here's why. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives Arjuna a way out. He talks about duty, action, a path to liberation. But in Beckett's world, there's nothing. No divine guidance, no clear answers, no way out. So by using the Gita as a lens, we see exactly what's missing, and that absence, that emptiness, just hits so much harder. It's this incredible dialogue between these two works that makes them both richer, without pretending they're the same. Which leaves us with one last big question to chew on. Does looking at our modern problems through the lens of ancient wisdom actually make our despair more understandable? Or does it just throw a spotlight on how truly lost we can feel when that wisdom seems to be gone?